Alrighty, so what I'm going to do for you today is I am going to kick out a few derivatives using the power rule. Alright, so power rule, think about it like this. Basically, that power sitting there needs to come down in front. Alright, power comes down in front. Bam! Took a lot of effort to get down there, right? Ooh, right? Takes a lot of effort to get down there, so it has to lose a power, right? So that's how these power rules work, okay? You've probably seen this little fancy definition be like, oh, if f of x equals x to the n power, then that means the derivative is equal to nx to the n minus 1, right? So basically, you're taking 1 away from that power that's sitting up there. Tricky part is trying to figure out what sometimes the powers are. So here we go. F prime, also known as df dx. So please, please, please don't freak out if you see it in either one of these forms. 4 comes down in front. Like I said, that becomes a 20. Bam! Took a lot of effort to get down there, so he has to lose a power. Becomes a 3. Think about it like this. A square root function, of course, is a 1/2 power, right? Definitely has that going for us. So that 1/2 comes down in front, becomes 3 times 1/2, which, oh, by the way, is 3 halves. But then I have to take away 1, so that becomes a negative 1/2. Don't be scared. 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. Don't be afraid. This guy here, that squared is in the bottom. You cannot pull powers out of that denominator, but you can slide them to the numerator. Check that guy out. So the negative 2 comes down in front, and then when I take a 1 away from that guy, it becomes a negative 3. What the heck? This one over here, don't be scared, right? That 1 pops down in front, multiplies, gives me 5. Take away 1, gives me 0. Well, x to the 0 power, by the way, is 1. So that's just a good old-fashioned negative 5 there. Now you're thinking derivative of a 7. Well, derivative of a 7 is actually 0. Why, do you ask? Because remember, x to the 0 power is really um what that variable is right there. So when that 0 gets multiplied by the 7, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And there's your power rule. So now I have another one for you. Look at me being so nice. Yes, let's slide another one in there. Oh, look, I even have one down there. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so now let's check this guy out. Some people freak out and think, oh my God, I gotta do a quotient. No, you do not. That x to the 5th is actually sliding in each one of these. So f of x is actually equal to x to the 7th over x to the 5th minus x squared over x to the 5th plus 2x over x to the 5th. What? So really, f of x, remember, when you divide like bases, you subtract those exponents. So that's x squared. Again, divide like bases, subtract the exponents. That's negative 3. What? Divide like bases? Yep, you said it. Subtract those exponents. Just watch your negatives, okay? 1 minus 5 is a negative 4. 2 minus 5 is a negative 3. Now let's kick out that derivative. You've seen pictures. 2 comes down in front. Bam! Took a lot of effort to get down there, right? Has to lose the power. Let me use another color here. Woo, that was fun, right? Now, I say negative 3 times negative 1. Well, by the way, that's 3. That becomes x, lose a power, right? He needs to lose a power. Don't forget that. X to the negative 4th. Again, wait for it, wait for it. Action movie. My students hear me talk about that all the time. That becomes a negative 8, x to the negative 5. There is your answer. Okay? If they're like, oh, I want you to write this in a rational form, don't be scared, right? There's no scaring here. Okay? It's not Halloween yet. What? Right? And I get 8 over x to the 5th. Yahoo! All right, now let's check out this last one I wrote up here. Okay, I'm going to slide this guy up. No, it's not one there. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So this one over here, right? That's going to pop to all of these three. So that means f of x is actually equal to x squared over the square root of x. It's equal to 4x, oops, tripped, over the square root of x. It's equal to 3 over, yep, you said it, the square root of x, okay? Because just remember, that denominator has to go to all of the things in the numerator. So now when you subtract the powers, I'm taking a 2 minus 1/2. 2 minus a half, right? If you have $2 and someone took away a half, oh, by the way, you have $1.50. Yeah, you said it, right? You got 3 halves. That's $1.50. Again, 1 minus a half. In this case, 1 minus a half, by the way, that's a half, yes? You've seen pictures. And then, of course, the square root of x is just going to pop up top. And that's x to the negative 1/2. Cheesy peasies. I am so sloppy. I do apologize. I tend to be a little messy, but my students are used to that. All right, so f prime. Here we go. 3/2 comes down in front. Bam! Took a lot of effort to get down there, right? Had to lose a power. I subtract 1 from this guy. So 3/2 minus 1, oh, by the way, that's like saying 3/2 minus 2/2, which, oh, by the way, is 1/2, right? You've seen it. Again, next guy, 1/2 comes down in front. Well, 4 times 1/2, yeah, you know it, it's 2. But take away a power, take 1 away from that guy, and yeah, it becomes a negative 1/2. Do not be scared of fractions and do not be scared of a little old negative. Again, multiply it by down, gives me 3/2. Take 1 away, right? But when I take negative 1/2 minus 1, all right, that's like saying negative 1/2 minus 2/2, which, oh, by the way, is negative 3/2. There's a lot of by the ways here. And there's your answer. Okay? I really hope this video was helpful for all my calc students that are sitting out there. All right? And wait for the next one. Yep, I think I might even talk about the product rule. Dun, 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 dun.